and good evening, everybody, and welcome here to the 2022 Aspen Dental Dirt Derby here on the PCS Race Sports and Gimmick channel. There are 44 trucks here, only 30 will make the main event, and before we find out who will take the checker flag and win the main event, we have to figure out who will make the main event first with our two heat races and our main event, which will be 150 laps, which there aren't going to be any stages in this race, but it will be good. Just going to throw a little disclaimer: if you are not in this first heat, you're in the second heat. As you look at the lineup for the first heat, we have Sonia Freeman on the pole, Maria Taylor alongside, Mark Underhill and Monica Towns in row number 2, and we'll show you the rest of the lineup for today's heat race. This is a biggie here today. These drivers know what's at stake. Where Jesse Art is, that's where you will transfer into the main event. From 16th on back for both of these races, your chances of making the main event is over. And let's see, the 41 is Cassidy Smart, not to get confused by Cody Smart, and David Heller starts last. So without further ado, let's get these cars ready to go. Let's go down trackside for the first command of tonight's the two heat races. And that was a nice enthusiastic command. So as I said, there's 22 in this race. There's 22 in the second race. We were supposed to have like 42 trucks, but then I realized that 2 drivers, we would have had only 23 in the first race, 19 in the second one. So I decided to add a couple of drivers from the Foster Series to be a part of this list. So yes, 50 laps. This is Heat 1 for those of you that just are joining us here in the stream. Remember, it doesn't matter if you win the heat race, it matters if you finish in the top 15. That's when you transfer into tonight's classic. Here we go. Heat 1 of the Aspen Dental Dirt Derby is green. It's going to be important for those drivers in Heat 2 to take some notes about this one. Eldora Speedway, it's a dirt track. These drivers know that dirt racing is a lot of fun. You can go slipping and sliding, and we're doing it at night. As Sonia Freeman will lead the first lap of 50. Of course, all of the heat races and the main event will all be in one video, so just going to throw that out. Cautions will count for both heat races and for the main event. Sonia Freeman, a driver I've never heard of before. Mark Underhill. Mary Smart for second. Mary Smart from the United Kingdom. Never heard of her. Mark Underhill, on the other hand, I've heard of him from the DRO Red Bull GT Series. Maria Taylor from Wales. That's Sean Art in the 5 truck for Hill Motorsports. Chaz Farmer in 6th right now. Chaz Farmer's a Red Bull GT Series driver. Monica Towns driving for Indiana Motorsports in the Buffalo Wild Wings Series next season. Annie Crenshaw just got around Jesse Art. That was a battle for the 8th position. And Sonia Freeman has just taken off. Check the back of the field. Maddie Crenshaw's back here. Cody McGorvick in the 11, losing a spot to, that's one of the Huckleberry drivers. That is Millie Huckleberry in the 75. I've never heard of Millie Huckleberry. Remy Taylor in the 47, passing Jenny Huckleberry. Trying to see who is on the bubble. On the bubble was Cody Smart. Now it's David Heller who is on the bubble. There's David. Holds that 15th and final transfer spot to get into the main event. As he's trying to get underneath, that's Jenny Huckleberry and put her into the final transfer spot. Monica Freeman passing Monica Towns. Cassidy Smart in the 41, the relationship to Cody Smart in the 15. There's Kyle Langland. His team owner and teammate, Daniel Voiles, will be in the second heat. Of course, there are no pit stops for this race because, well, basically we're running only 50 laps here in this heat race. Back up front, Sonia Freeman, currently still your leader. As the chair is saying to make sure my foot gets all caught for some reason. So far, pretty good. We're lap 14. Lap 15 will be on the board. 198 laps, so fuel mileage will not be an issue, and also tires will not be an issue either in the main event. What you got is what you got. It's going to be good starting track position for these heat races as well as for the main event. It doesn't matter where you qualify for the main event. I believe I've caution's turned on, okay. I was just making sure I had cautions turned on. And again, just a little reminder, if you're not in this first heat, you'll be in the second heat. Of course, we're going to have, Reggie Fogelman, Daniel Voiles, a lot of big names in there. As I see the 7 truck has dropped back. That's Jenny Huckleberry. Driving that number 7 Red Horse Toyota. Cody Smart currently struggling in the 20th position. Mitchell Hodak in the 9 truck. Currently out as of now. The 19 truck is on the bubble. And that is Maddie Crenshaw. Her sister is currently in the 6th position. Coming up to the midway point of this first heat. We're about to have a lead change here in just a second. That's the 17 of Mary Smart trying to get underneath Sonia Freeman for the lead. Of course, it doesn't matter if you finish first, second, third. As long as you finish in the top 15, you will transfer in the main event. And it still says the 19 of Maddie Crenshaw is still in the final transfer spot. And she is still in the final transfer spot. 16th through 22nd, that would be 7 drivers, will sadly be going home. As we are halfway through the first heat. 50 laps is a short race, and these drivers will not have any issues completing that. Hope everybody had a good holiday yesterday. And hopefully enjoying today's big main event that I'm doing here on YouTube. Sonia Freeman still the leader. She's led every lap so far in this heat. Sean Art getting ready to pass the 31 of Maria Taylor. That was a battle for the 3rd position. And Crenshaw's there. Of course, both of the Art siblings are going to make the main event. I want to send our condolences to Sean and Jesse's stepmom, who is currently having surgery down there in Houston. We send our condolences to them out of respect and all that. Right now, the Huckleberry siblings looks like they would be going home as of now, along with Cody Smart, Mitchell Hodak, Zachary Taylor, and Monica Towns, which would be both of the Indiana people. Cody McGorvick holds the final transfer spot to get in the main event. Right in front of him is Maddie Crenshaw. McGorvick's trying to put the 19 on the bubble. After each heat, I will put my phone down after I show you the official finishing results of the heat races. And then we will put our 30 truck main event group in. Want to take the time to thank you all for signing up for this event. And of course, getting all the sign-ups done in a reasonable time, which I can't thank you all very much enough. Your dedication to this channel is what helps me get these special events out, and with my busy schedule at work, I try to get these out as quickly as possible. And Monica Towns just got around Maddie Crenshaw for the final transfer spot, so Maddie Crenshaw would be out. At least her sister would be in the field. Everybody enjoyed yesterday's final elimination race for the Oreo Cup Series drivers. That race, we saw the final 4. If you haven't seen the elimination race, I recommend you go watch it, because I do not want to spoil it for anybody who didn't watch it. The special event is because of the fact we hit a little over 200 subscribers, and I didn't get to do a 200 subscriber deal, so this would be the reason we're doing this event. It will be for a one-time event. 10 to go here in the heat race. On the bubble is the 13 truck. If you watch the replay of this stream, hopefully you can sit back, grab some food, and stay here because we're going to be having a long day event. So, oh, somebody kicked up some dust. That was the one of Monica Freeman. Are we under caution? Or has Freeman got a problem? Oh, she was in a transfer spot. And she missed the pit lane for some reason. Not sure why. She's got a problem because there would be no other way why she's going on track. Caution's out. Caution is out, and this changes everything. I think this might end the race. I think she couldn't get to pit road or something. But that was not what Sonia Freeman wanted to see. Oh, look out. Oh, 17 just ran the back of the 63 under the yellow. All these drivers just took the yellow flag. The leaders were racing back to the line. Wonder how much damage the 17's going to have. Now the leaders need to let all these drivers who took the caution by, or we're going to have a problem and a half. Where is the pace truck? There's the pace truck. Over in turn number 1, the leaders are over here in 3. So the pace truck either needs to slow it down or something. This is going to be a bit of confusion here. These guys need to get going or they're going to get lapped, and I don't know what they're doing. They need to go quickly. They're going to get lapped if they're not careful. And looks like the pace truck, unless they're waiting for the pace truck, but these drivers that are 16th on back, they got to get going or they're going to get lapped. And that's not good. They better get going or they're going to get lapped. Okay, here we go. 23 is going to have to get going. That's Chaz Farmer. Yeah, that was a bit of confusion. That took way too long than what it needed to be. All these drivers just got lapped as a result, and now they're going to have to get the wave around. And that's not good. Well, that took way too long than what it needed to be. As why did Chaz Farmer overtake the pace truck? Why did Chaz Farmer overtake the pace truck? Oh, looks like the 7 got some damage. Okay, this is a bit of confusion. Confusing, excuse me. But how did the 7... Oh, probably that little stack up. Let's see what happened. What a bizarre way to end what was a clean Heat 1. And the 7 just ran the back of the 19 for an unknown reason. And because of that, the 17, or not 17, the 7 is a lap down. Zachary Taylor did the same. And Cody Smart got trapped a lap down. That will definitely end the heat race. Well, Cody just got back on the lead lap. But what a bizarre way. And the 1 car is out of the race with a header. Oh, we're going to get the restart already. Oh, this is a holocaust. As green and white are out. And the 1 car, that would be Monica Freeman out with a header. as we're coming to the checker flag, and Sonia Freeman leads from start to finish and takes heat 1. In a bizarre end to this heat race. That was bizarre. I have never seen that ever in my time. They should have gotten going a lot quickly, would have had a lot more laps left, but unfortunately was not meant to be. And the standings are indeed official. So Sonia Freeman, Mary Smart, Chaz Former, Sean Art, Annie Crenshaw. 31, that would be Monica Taylor, Mark Underhill, Cassidy Smart, Kyle Langland, Jesse Art, Remy Taylor, David Heller, Cody McGorvick, Monica Towns, and Mitchell Hodak in the 15th spot got the final transfer spot. Unfortunately, the drivers who will fail to qualify for this race, all three of the Huckleberry siblings, D&Q, Cody Smart, Maddie Crenshaw, Zachary Taylor, and Monica Freeman. So let me go ahead and put those numbers in there. We have 63, 17. So both of the Art siblings made it. Annie Crenshaw makes it, whereas Maddie Crenshaw didn't. That's a tough break for Maddie Crenshaw. Can't believe the 41 made it. Happy Kyle Langland made it. So Kyle Langland makes the race, whereas Zachary Taylor and Cody Smart didn't. That is kind of a bruh moment. David Heller made the show. Good for him. Cody McGorvick. And attaboy to Mitchell Hodak, who was on the outside looking in, snuck in at the last second, got the final transfer spot. So those are your results from Heat 1. Congratulations, as I said, from Sonia Freeman all the way down to Mitchell Hodak. I'm very sorry to the 75, 71, 15, 19, 7, 05, and 1 as being drivers who are sadly going home. But we're just getting started, ladies and gentlemen. We have another heat race to go, so we're going to go that one right now. Yes, you're getting both heat races for the price of one. All right, 50 laps, same rules apply. Who will transfer into the main event? You'll see who will start on the pole, and you don't have to hear the announcer say, "Drivers to your car." Yeah, that gets a bit annoying, if you know what I mean. So I will put like 23 minutes. As Zachary Fitzwater Sr. starts on the pole for tonight's second heat race. CJ Bracken, Daniel Voiles, Michael Brown, Tori Gossett, Kate Anderson, Nathan Orman, Will Parrish, Jared Underhill, Leslie Freeman, Betty Johnson, Allie Burnett, Annie Thomas, Erica Douglas, Parker Castle, Lyle Austin, Frank Underhill, Prudence Martindale, part of David Jean Heller's team, Quentin Moore, 32 of Shelby Taylor, Colin Cropley, and Reggie Fogelman, who starts last. Drivers, start your engines. That should be self-explanatory. Okay. I'm going to do this. Two transfers. Don't worry, I'm going to get NR back up and going. I'm just doing that just so I don't have to mess with this later. So Zachary Fitzwater on the pole position, driving for Stuart Friesen's team, Halmar Friesen Racing. CJ Bracken driving for Jennifer Jo Cobb Racing, and then Daniel Voiles in his Custom 26. And the 24, Michael Brown, for green in heat number 2. This is going to be fun if it's any indication like the first heat race. Of course, in between the heat races, I will put the grid. I'll have to make a new roster to put all of the drivers that transferred into the main event. Fitzy leads. Voiles in second. Daniel Voiles has raced at Eldor before. A lot in his NR career. He's in that green and white 26. That's probably going to be the easiest paint scheme you'll pick apart. Corey Gossett currently in third. CJ Bracken under contest by, oh, that's Nathan Orman. Father Orme, as we like to say. His good buddy Michael Brown right there. Jared Underhill in the 58. On the bubble is the 8 truck, but for how long, as Colin Cropley is going to go to the inside. Colin Cropley now in the transfer spot, but don't look too far behind because Reggie Fogelman in the M&M's 38 truck would like to get into the transfer spot. Colin Cropley now getting ready to pass Annie Thomas, moving her to the final transfer spot. Reggie Fogelman is now 16th, but he's trying to make sure to get himself into the top 15. As I said, if you if you finish top 15, you'll join the other 15 drivers who already transferred. As Cropley loses a spot to Samantha Taylor. Parker Castle now in the final transfer spot as Annie Thomas gets around Castle. Meanwhile, Fitzy currently leads this race. Fitzy with good car control, if you ask me, in that 62 Toyota. Keep an eye on the final transfer spot while Fitzy currently leads. Last time by, the 32 truck was in the final transfer spot. Now it's the 16 in the final transfer spot. That's Kate Anderson in the Chevy 16. Also got some drivers like Erica Douglas, who will be running that same truck full-time in the Truck Series next season. So for Douglas, this would be kind of a quote-unquote warm-up race for the 2023 events. I have not heard from him in a long time, which is Father Orme. Was still in the final transfer spot. 86 already in last place. That's Aline Burnett. Look at the lead Fitzwater got on Daniel Voiles for second. There's Tori Gossett. Tori Gossett, the girlfriend to Quentin Moore, Daniel Voiles, whose girlfriend is Lainey Fredrickson, and she is not in this event. You will actually see Lainey Fredrickson on Tuesday when we are heading to Rockingham, North Carolina for the PCS Ray Foster Series. Hope you'll tune in for that. This is the battle for the second position, but like I said, it doesn't matter where you finish. As long as you have good starting track position, you could be into the race. We check the back of the field. That's Lyle Austin in the 2. Of course, I've talked about a lot of drivers on this channel that I know of or still getting used to. Lyle Austin is a driver I've never heard of before, but we'll see how he does. Same with this lady right here, Leslie Freeman. Of course, her sister Sonia made the main event. There's Erica driving for Dean of Oils Racing. And that very not hard to miss green, yellow, and pink 22, sponsored by Charleston Next Book. This truck will be full time in the Coca-Cola Truck Series next season for DVR. How fitting, she's driving for her team owner who's in this race with her. There's Aline Burnett in the Mercedes. Yes, don't adjust that TV. Oh, we got a caution. We got a caution on the track, and it's Michael Brown whose engine went kaboom, and the yellow is out. Hold on.
He's supposed to be here because I'm supposed to be here for lunch with you.
Yeah, I don't know where he's at.
Where's the house manager?
They just left.
They weren't supposed to leave.
And I don't know where they're, I don't know when will be back.
You have a phone number?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
What is your name?
I'm Daniel. Daniel.
You're the other one there, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm Sarah, the guy who.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I have her number if you want me to give it to you.
Yeah, I've been trying to call.
Probably. Alright, sorry about that, y'all. Michael Brown out of the race due to a camshaft you already saw. Yeah. They never said anything about you coming to find out if you. Okay. Yeah. I just had a birthday sandwich. Yeah. Get back, I'll probably move to a different place so I'm not bothering the conversation. Yeah. I know. Mm-hmm. I'm like a racing fan, so. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It used to be 2 houses, but they opened it up, so now it's 1 whole house. Yes. Well, there's 6 of us plus the house manager. That makes 7. I mean, this is used for like pantry and all that, and then this one we just cook in it. So. That's the house manager who lives with us. He's probably like, oh, mother trucker. I have no clue. 535. Yeah. Okay. Problem solved. It's easy to adjust. It's just past me before. sold out right about now for the night. Prince Martin back in at 20. Erica Douglas now in the final transfer spot. Not everybody is gone. I'm still here. I got another roommate named Brian's here, and Andre. So like 3 of us are here. So. It'll be 9 years in June for me next year at my job. I've been there since 2014. Yeah. Yeah, and then I have to work on the holidays, which is coming up in a couple of weeks. At least I get time and a half at my job. Yes. Yeah. Gotcha. Pitch one is for Lee Johnson in second, 23rd, Jalen Rickers in fourth. Betty Johnson, C.J. Brackett, Will Parrish, Quentin Moore, and Pete Anderson in your top 10.
So, do you know Stephen A. Blunt?
I don't know, to be quite honest with you.
Yes, he's supposed to be in Blunt, one or two, and I think they were for one. Did they leave at 1 o'clock, or?
They just left about, I don't know, 20 minutes ago, so I don't know when they'll be back.
Oh, okay. Thank you for entertaining me while I was here,
Mm-hmm.
and,
I'll let you feel that you came by.
thank you.
So if they come back, then
Well, I got to have to do it.
gotcha.
I can take it too hard to leave.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. All right. No problem.
Well, Okay, sorry about that, y'all. The nutrition is
I apologize if I wasn't talking much in that portion of the race when the nutrition came by, so I apologize for that. Right now, Erica Douglas still holds on to the final transfer spot. We have 3 laps to go in the heat race. Of course, Michael Brown is out of the race. That caution you just saw just before the nutrition came by. So Michael Brown, who had a very good run in the former winner from Sebring in the Red Bull GT Series, will not make the main event, which is too bad. As we're coming up to the last lap of this race, and then we get ready for the big main event. Actually, I'm going to probably do 100 laps. There's the white flag for Fitzwater. No contest for that fast Toyota. Fitzy's got a fast truck tonight. We'll see what happens in the main event. Zachary Fitzwater will take heat number 2 and will transfer into the main event in dominant fashion. I have a feeling Fitzy will be one of the favorites to win this heat, to win the main event coming up here today. Hi to one person in the chat. We had 3 people watching, but unfortunately they left before I said hi to them. Standings are official. Fitzwater, Gossett, Orman, Underhill, Voiles, Betty Johnson, Will Parrish, CJ Bracken, Quentin Moore, Kate Anderson, Allie Burnett, Annie Thomas, Colin Cropley, Erica Douglas, and Shelby Taylor took the final transfer spot. Sadly, drivers who will go home, unfortunately, are Reggie Fogelman, Parker Castle, Leslie Freeman, Lyle Austin, Prudence Martindale, Frank Underhill, and Michael Brown. So a tough break for those drivers who will not make the main event. 62, 14, 4, 8, I have the 1 instead of the 2. That's my bad. 66. You guys can chat while we are here. 10, 6, 16. Good for Kate Anderson to make the show. Allie Burnett made the field. So did Annie Thomas. So Annie Thomas has a chance of redemption here at Eldora. Because the last time we were here at Eldora, she got herself put on probation. Which was not a good thing for her, so yes. So that's going to do it for the heat races. In just a bit, we're about to go ahead and start our main event. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in. We're going to come to you and we're going to stay live while I put all of these into the deal. Again, I'm very sorry to these drivers and the 7 drivers in Heat 1 if you didn't see the Heat 1 results. When this video goes public, you can rewind and see. Yeah. Alright, let's put the grid together, shall we? Okay. Let's see. You are. So you guys can chat while we are here in this, in the YouTube chat. If you have any questions you want to ask me, go ahead. Don't be shy. There are no wrong answers. Can't believe Cassidy Smart. Can't believe Cody Smart missed the show. Let me see if I can get Cassidy's name down here. Kyle Langland makes the field. Congrats to Kyle. Jesse Art. Both of the Art siblings made the show. Good job to both of them. Randy Taylor. David Heller. The 11. That is Cody McGormick. Monica Towns, and finally the 9 truck of Mitchell Hodak. Now, heat 2. 62, 14. Okay, Orme made the field. Let's find Orme. There you are. Up there. Jared Underhill. Good job to Jared for making the main event. Of course, yours truly made the race. Parrish made the show. Good for Will. TJ Bracken. Q-Man made the field. Good for Q-Man. 16. Kate Anderson. Ryan Burnett. Andy Thomas. That was Colin Cropley. So Cropley made the main event. Good for him. Okay, Erica Douglas, and finally the 32. That was, oh, show here. There we go. Now our main event is set. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've been waiting for. The Eldora main event. Actually going to do 100 laps. I was going to do 150, but 100 laps sounds like a brilliant idea. Do 106 when we get started, as Sean likes to say. All right, which guy or gal going to go to victory lane here this evening? And Will Parrish on the pole for tonight's main event. Woohoo! Let's see, Sonia Freeman. Let's see, who starts last? David Heller starts last. Freeman, who won Heat 1, 19th. Fitzwater, 9th. So, let's get the command. And there's the command to fire up for the main event tonight. Which guy or gal will take the victory honors and win the 2022 Eldora race? 100 laps. All these drivers already had the 4-wide salute. Here we go. The Aspen Dental Dirt Derby main event is about to start. Pace truck is off, and the 2022 Aspen Dental Dirt Derby at Eldora is green. Good start for Will Parrish in the double zero. Q-Man trying to fight his way. I believe everybody took the green flag. Yes is the answer. David Heller trying to battle the 32 of Samantha Taylor. Jared Underhill is back here at the rear of the field as we're going 3 wide here. Cassidy Smart. Passing Cody. Tori Gossets up there. Whoa, Annie Thomas nearly got alongside Cassidy Smart there. That was close. Back up front, Will Parrish currently is still your race leader. Whoa, 32 got a little squirrely there. That was Samantha Taylor. Crazy Zachary Taylor, Cody Smart, number of big names on Triple P did not make this race. Thank goodness this is a non-points event, or that would have been bad for their point hopes. As Will Parrish currently the leader here. Anderson currently in the second position. Q-Man third, Nathan Orman fourth, Fitzwater is fifth, sixth Colin Cropley, Betty Johnson seventh, Annie Crenshaw eighth, Mitchell Hodak battling with Cody McGorvick for ninth, and looks like McGorvick will get ninth, pushing Mitchell Hodak in 10th. Yep. Thank you to everybody signing up. This has been a very good main event, even though there's been a lot of 3 wide. But hey, the racing's been really good at Eldora, as always here. Sean Art dropping back, about to lose the 18th position to Shelby Taylor, and Taylor's doing a good job in her debut. Mark Underhill. Of course, Jared made the field, and then their other Underhill, Frank, failed to qualify for this race. There's Kyle Langland. He can now officially say he has now completed a race at Eldora. And here's a novel concept. Here comes his blue hedgehog and team owner, Daniel Voiles, right here, battling with him. If you just joined us, you are watching the main event race for the 2022 Aspen Dental Dirt Derby. Daniel Voiles here in Rossburg, Ohio at the Eldora Speedway. Greg Rutz, our producer and engineer, back in our PCS Race studios tonight. As Will Parrish, who started on pole, leads. We have not had a yellow so far in the main event. We've only had 2 yellows, both of them for mechanical failures in our heat races. since we don't need that. And you don't need to see that because that would be spoiling. So, like I said to the drivers who failed to qualify, better luck next time or next year if this event does come back, which no doubt I will have this event come back. It will replace that military holiday that concluded yesterday. Will Parrish, who made it into the main event from his heat race. There's Kate Anderson in second. Kate was about to go home if she didn't make it in the top 15, and she did. To a lot of people's surprise. Corey Gossett back here. We got a car. Oh, David Heller's out of the race for a disqualification for some reason. Hold up. Why would David be disqualified? I don't know why they disqualified David. But they did for some reason. I'm just trying to figure that out. Not like David did anything wrong. Apparently they stopped scoring him for some reason. I don't understand that. And surprisingly, he's out of the race for absolutely no reason. Like, he just disappeared. Yeah, I don't understand why. I don't know why. They need to fix the DQ for some reason, because that doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem right. But unfortunately, David Gene Heller's night is done. And he did climb out of the truck and wants an explanation why he was disqualified. Tough break for David, but at least he made the main event. Yeah, they just stopped scoring him for some unknown reason. I don't know why. I mean, it's not like David did anything wrong. It's just I don't understand that DQ and why he had to go back behind the wall in the garage. But whatever the case, that is a very tough break for him. We're already past the 1/4 mark here in the main event. Want to remind everyone, this telecast is presented by the authority of the Pacific Coast Sports Racing Association, and it may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Any accounts or description of this broadcast may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pacific Coast Sports Racing Association. PCSRA want to thank you fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. Which, at the rate it's going, it's looking like a domination. But regardless of the fact, pretty good. There's Annie Thomas, currently in the 18th position. Of course, Annie Crenshaw getting to race with her Aussie friend, Fitzy. I wonder if Annie Thomas has been going to see Fitzwater lately at his house or something. I wonder if Annie Thomas is trying to make something up to Fitzwater. I don't know what that would be. But regardless, it's pretty good as Will Parrish currently the leader, Kate Anderson second, Fitzwater is in third, fourth is Nathan Orman, fifth Quentin Moore, Crenshaw is sixth, Annie Crenshaw, Colin Cropley seventh, eighth Betty Johnson, ninth Sonia Freeman, and Cody McGorvick is 10. And and David Gene Heller, the only driver out of the race due to a DQ, which, to be legitimately fair, I don't know why we have drivers going out of the race due to a DQ. I don't know. And, David's probably talking to the officials right now and getting a very good explanation. Because that really just costed David Heller a chance at a good run tonight. But the fortunate thing for David is he's got the Thanksgiving 250 to look forward to redeem himself. Thankfully, will not be at Eldora. It will be at the Pocono Raceway. Hope you'll tune in for that. Which also would explain why after next week's race at Springfield, the other dirt track we'll be going to, we'll have an off week for the Thanksgiving 250, and then we'll be back to Foster Series racing. And speaking of Foster Series racing, you will see those drivers at Rockingham, North Carolina on Tuesday. That will be our next telecast for PCS Racing. We bring coverage of qualifying as well as the non-charter qualifying to determine the 6 drivers that will transfer into the Subway 400. Our qualifying race will be kicking it off at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Hope you will tune in for that. And then qualifying will be at 2:30 Eastern Standard Time. Hope you will tune in for qualifying as well. Someone just picked up a bit of dust. I don't know who it was. Whoever it was kept it going, so. The battle for second between Fitzwater and Pete Anderson is heating up. I will try to record I'll stream the qualifiers privately and then have it up 2 weeks from this Wednesday. Also, all of the Foster Series races will now be on Friday once the Oreo Cup Series season ends. And of course, Annie Thomas just came from Coca-Cola Super Speedway yesterday. If you weren't with us for the elimination race at Coca-Cola for the Oreo Cup Series. Betty Johnson is also in that series. And of course, you'll see those 2 ladies along with the other 36 drivers that were not in this event. You'll see those drivers next week at Phoenix as we crown a champion in the Oreo Cup Series. As we'll find out who will join the likes. Who will be the 2022 Oreo Cup Series champ. As we're coming to the midway point of tonight's race. Of course, I will probably need to stream the Thanksgiving 250 in advance because, as I said before, while you guys are celebrating with your families, I will be at work that day. And I'll probably be too worn out not to do a race, so just letting y'all know that in advance. And of course, we're going to be guaranteed a new winner in the Thanksgiving 250 because the defending winner of that race is not in the event. Because it's car numbers we're worried about. As Will Parrish is about to lap some trucks here in just a second, as we're at the midway point of tonight's race. Only David Gene Heller is out. Halfway through the Aspen Dental Dirt Derby main event here tonight. Our next special event, as I said, will be in 2 weeks from Pocono Raceway. We'll bring you coverage of the Thanksgiving 250, but before we find out who wins that race, we have to find out who will make the main event, who will be the 8 drivers that unfortunately will have to go home, because we will have to do heats for those 2 races. And I'll try to compile them all into one video or stream them in one video to make it a little fair to everybody, so you know. That way I don't have to make 2 separate videos, if you know what I mean. I've done that with the Battle of the SRA, but next year I'm just going to stream them both. Just make it a little fair as far as that's concerned. Fitzwater just got around Kate Anderson, bringing Nathan Orman with him, as Ormy just got around Kate Anderson. That was a battle for the 3rd position. And now Kate Anderson falling into the clutches of Quentin Moore. Not too far behind Q-Man is Annie Crenshaw. Speaking of Annie Crenshaw, she'll be driving the 19 truck that failed to qualify for this event in the Coca-Cola Truck Series next season. There's only one little issue, though, however. She's only 17. And she will not turn 18 until after the Vegas weekend. So she would not make her debut until Martinsville. Which I know she's going to get a playoff waiver and will try to get a win to get herself into the top 30 in points for a win if she does get a win next season to count towards a spot into the playoffs. As, Will Parrish got a little squirrely going in the 3 and went a little bit high, but he manages to hang on. Nathan Orman trying to catch Zachary Fitzwater for the 2nd position. And to my surprise, we have not had a caution, to my surprise. I don't know what was said in the drivers' meeting, but apparently whatever was said, apparently they kept it clean, surprisingly. And this is, by the way, I should point out, the first race with the CWS 15 mod. Of course, we're going to be using this mod for the Coca-Cola Truck Series next season. The Thanksgiving 250 race that you will see in a couple of weeks, that will be with the new NXS 20 mod. That is going to be used for the Buffalo Wild Wings Series. And then, of course, the BR15 will be used for the Monster Energy Series. Now, everybody was asking me, was I going to switch Monster to the next gen? The answer is going to be no. Because with the Foster Series now running the next gen cars, it makes a little bit more sense in that nature. So, there you go. And of course, like I said, I just want to get the Foster Series done as quickly as I can so I can start working on. There's Ormy, Kate Anderson, Q-Man. Look at the rest of the grid. 47 is now 1 lap down. That's who's in the 47 again? That's Randy Taylor, who's gone a lap down, so not the night he was having. Of course, that doesn't surprise you, seeing the 47 a lap down, since that is a GTG truck. So, to the certain surprise of absolutely absolutely nobody in this paddock. I'm trying to recall if Will Parrish has ever won on this channel, and something tells me, let me look. No, he's never won on this channel before. Will Parrish has never won a special event on my channel. I just now looked at it. But don't look now, because here comes the king of dirt, the Australian king himself, aka Fitzwater. Hopefully you don't mind me singing that song, Fitzy, if you're watching this. And of course, Zachary Fitzwater trying to redeem himself after a disappointing run at Coca-Cola. Of course, he was okay. Wasn't too happy he was involved in that 26-car pileup at Coca-Cola in the Foster Series. Of course, he will be heading to Rockingham, North Carolina, along with several other drivers that are in that event, like Cody Smart, Zachary Taylor. They're already heading to Rockingham, North Carolina right now. As Will Parrish trying to hang on to this lead. He's led the entire race. We have not had a lead change in either heat or in this main event until now, because here comes Fitzwater. He's going to go underneath the one main financial Chevy Silverado, and Zachary Fitzwater becomes the first lead change of the night. Zachary Fitzwater drives the number 4 Ford Mustang for Stewart Haas Racing in the Foster Series. As I said, he did not have a very good finish, so his return to the Foster Series was kind of disappointing. But how would it be for Fitzwater as a redemption to have some motivation going into Rockingham, North Carolina next week if he wins tonight? And since Will Parrish led the most laps, Cody's probably going to have something to say in a little bit. Unless Will Parrish can get underneath the left, get on the inside of Fitzwater in that 62 Toyota. As we've hit the 3/4 mark of tonight's race. Thank goodness I only did 100 laps. These drivers already did 50 laps in their heat race respectively. So technically they've already gotten 50 laps. So right now, Fitzwater is leading as we're now getting in the part of the race. Here comes Will Parrish. The more these two continue to go side by side, the more that's going to allow Nathan Orman to catch up, because they only have a 2-second lead over Ormy. And there he is. He's reeling in the 47, but he's catching these two if these two continue to battle out like this. And we're also glad to say, if you also watched yesterday's Oreo Cup Series race, Chloe Erickson, who was involved in that frightening accident towards the end of that race, thankfully she was checked and released from the hospital, so that's good to hear. The problem for Fitzwater, what he's going to have is he's got to worry about Sean Art, because if these two continue to struggle trying to get around the 5 truck, which Fitzy's about to lap the 5 truck, if him and Will Parrish have problems, Ormy's going to reel those two in. And Ormy's starting to reel them in. 21 truck has the fastest lap. That would be Mark Underhill, but he's running in 10th, so he may be running out of time. Ormy's also going to be running out of time if he doesn't catch catch up, but that's still a good result for the former Reese's Pro Champ. Or what is now the Monster Energy Series champ. But don't be surprised if Randy Taylor has something to say. He could play a factor in who's going to win this. As Fitzwater's got to be patient to get around Sean Ard. Even though Sean's not having a good run, the good news is this is a non-points event. Thank goodness for that. It's tied at 20. Going in the fourth. Oh. And Fitzwater just got around Sean Ard, so. 15 to go. Can Fitzy hold him off? He's starting to pull away because Will Parrish is about to be under attack by the 47, and that might be all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. But Fitzy needs to be careful because he could also get passed by Sean Ard, and like I said, that could possibly pull not just the 00 into the conversation, but also pull Nathan Orman into that conversation for the win. And of course, Zachary Fitzwater is a former Oreo Cup Series driver. Drove the number 59, I recall, for that race. And if I'm not mistaken, Zachary Fitzwater is a former winner at Pocono in the Oreo Cup Series, may I remind you, back when Anthony Ritchie used to do the races, back in, I want to take an educated guess, it was season 2, yes, it was season 2. Because the Oreo Cup Series I'm doing is season 3, even though I have season 1, but you get the point. 10 laps to go coming up for Fitzwater. Wouldn't this be a great win for Fitzy after the bad luck he had at Coca-Cola this past week? Comes into this weekend trying to get some big momentum going to Rockingham, North Carolina. Probably it's dead. That's why I let it charge. Fitzwater just lapped Mary Smart. Will Parrish, I wonder if the handling is starting to go away because Nathan Orman's going to be all over him, but the problem for Ormy, he's running out of time. The last thing Zachary Fitzwater does not want to see, however, is a yellow flag, because that could really change the outcome of this one. Fitzy's got to pray. The only flag he wants to see is the white flag. He does not want to see that yellow. That would be a disaster if we see the yellow. 6 to go for Fitzwater. We talked about Daniel Boyles and Cody and Allison Liera, who have had experience at this dirt track. So has Zachary Fitzwater. And as I said in his heat race, and I'll say it again, Fitzy has one of the best trucks in tonight's race. And so far, whatever they didn't change on this truck, it's working to his advantage. His crew chief is, ironically, his wife, Henrietta Fitzwater. I bet you she's probably a nervous wreck right now, as they know they're 3 laps away from winning the Aspen Dental Dirt Derby on this channel. And if Fitzy wins this, that would be a great relief for him after all the friends that he paid tribute to. Well, so far, he's going to make sure to honor these wins for his fallen friends he has lost over the years. White flag is out, and Fitzy can be relieved. The white flag is out. One more lap for Fitzwater. This will be good confidence for him going into the going into the Foster Series race next week, as Zachary Fitzwater wins the Aspen Dental Dirt Derby tonight at Eldora. And the Road Course King became the Dirt King of Eldora. And Zachary Fitzwater will be delighted with that result. I will say that for him. Standings are indeed official. How about that for Fitzwater, who's got a couple of children, who's got his amazing wife he's been with for a long time. What an honor he has done, and he is why I call him Fitzy, the king of racing. Will Parrish, who led the most laps in this race, will settle for second. Nathan Orman third. Kate Anderson fourth. How about Quentin Moore in fifth for Norm Benning's team in a one-race deal? Annie Crenshaw, great job to her in sixth. Colin Crapley seventh. Betty Johnson makes it 2 Australian drivers in the top 10 in eighth. Sonia Freeman ninth, and Maria Taylor complete the top 10. As you look on down through the remainder of the finishing results, we had 25 drivers finished on the lead lap. Jesse Art was the last of those drivers. Or was it 24? I think it was 24. Let me double check to confirm that with you guys. Yep, it was 25. As drivers were coming to pit road. And they're probably off to what I call the showers. Or probably heading back to the hotel to hit the showers, if you know what I mean. Mary Smart, Sean Art, Randy Taylor all finished a lap down, and then 2 drivers unfortunately finished out of the race. Mark Underhill due to an ignition, and David Heller due to a disqualification, which I don't know why he would be disqualified, but nevertheless, that is a tough break for David Heller. The good news is for him, as well as everybody else who did not have a good result here tonight, this was a 9-point event. So, there you go. That, my friends, is going to do it for the 2022 Aspen Dental Dirt Derby. Zachary Fitzwater is your winner, and I wonder if that will be some motivation for him going into Rockingham, North Carolina for the PCSRA Foster Series race you will see next week. Thank you all for tuning into tonight's heat as well as the main event all in one video here on this channel. If you guys enjoyed this race, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become a part of the PCSRA crew today. We've shown your full finish results in the main event. If you did not see your official finishing results from the heats, they are somewhere earlier in this video. And we will see you guys next week as we're getting ready to go racing at Rockingham, North Carolina. We'll have the non-charter race that will come out on Tuesday as well as qualifying, and then we will have the main event that will be next Friday. Yes, after the Oreo Cup Series finale is done, we will have the main event for Foster Series, and then there you go. So, yes. So, congratulations to Zachary Fitzwater on the win, and we'll see you guys next time. Until then, I have been Dean DeVos, the Blue Hedgehog, signing out, as you've been watching another broadcast of PCSRA TV, the best in racing around the world since 2017. Good night from the Eldora Speedway in Rossburg. Sportsnet PCS Race starts now.